Amateur mechanics of the world unite. You have found your channel. Yes, you have a go, heroes. This is your place. So we are gradually and slowly restoring this Boxster back to its former glory. You will have seen in the last episode I did a full brake job, so have a look at that. We have also fixed the cigarette lighter, we've fixed the heater, and today it's the turn of the spark plugs, the spark plug tubes and the coils. We're going to replace them all. So have a go, heroes, follow me. I will show you how it's done, sort of. But follow along, see what you think. One thing I learned in the last video was that the comments that people write are really valuable. So have a look in the comments below, because you might find some really valuable advice in there as well. And thanks to all that posted in the last video. Keep them coming, guys. Keep those comments coming. Anyway, come on inside and let me show you what I've bought, what it costs, and then we'll get on with fitting it. As you can see, I've bought lots of lovely new stuff. Now, I bought most of these except the spark plug tubes from FCP Euro. FCP Euro make this really easy because they do kits for you to be able to do this. But I'm not sponsored by FCP Euro. FCP Euro, if you're watching, I've just mentioned your name. I could do it again if you like for several $1,000s. But anyway, let's have a look what I've got. This is a coil pack. Now, what this does is, you'll see where it sits on the engine in a moment, but it transfers or converts low voltage energy from the battery, low voltage electricity, into higher voltage electricity. And the end of the spark plug goes in there. So if I reach the spark plug with one hand, you'll see that the spark plug goes in like that into the end of it. And then, of course, the spark comes out of that end. So I've got 6 new spark plugs, all OEM, and I've also got spark plug tubes. Now these sit, obviously the spark plug sits inside, and they just pop in and out. So you can take these out. Now the problem with these is 2 things. One, they're made of plastic. So on a car of this old age, everything that's plastic or rubber has perished and gone dry, and this is a southern car anyway. So that's the problem. Now the other problem is that on each end they have O-rings which also perish. And if you remember the video that we did on the pre or post purchase inspection, as it was, we found some rubber in the oil filter, and I'm wondering whether it might be one of these, particularly this end, O-rings that has perished and somehow got into the oil. But these are necessary because they keep oil away from the spark plugs and the coils. Again, you'll remember from the video of the post-purchase inspection that some of our coil packs were indeed a little bit wet with oil. But anyway, there's the kit. We're going to need various sockets and so on, but I'll show you those when we get to it. Come and have a look at where you find all of this and how to do it. All right, you guys, I've taken the wheel off. You guys know how to do that. We don't need to, for me to show you how to do that or waste your time with that. But as you can see, it's in the wheel well. Now, if I go in a little closer here, underneath here, you can see the end of one of those coil packs. And there are, in fact, 3 of them. If I take you in, you can see the one on the right here, and there is one up there as well. So the next job, actually, to make that a bit easier, is to take this piece of shielding off. It's just 2 10mm bolts and a bit of finagling, but we can get that off, and that'll give us greater access to it and see what we're up against. Bring you in here, and there, that gives us a bit better access to that one on the right. I think we can probably get at all of them now. All right, we'll go in. I've got my little GoPro here. Now, we're going to start on the middle one. This is the left one, and over here is the right one. That's going to be a little bugger to get out that one over there, I think, but we'll figure it out. Now, the first thing is to detach the cable from it. and that's at the back. I'm doing this sight unseen, I can't see it. You've actually got a better view of it than I have. But there is a rubber shroud to push back, and then we've got to push a clip down and then release it from the back. So let me see if I can do this one-handedly. There's the rubber shroud. I'm going to push that back. Hopefully it doesn't disintegrate in my hand. Oh, this seems in good shape. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, that's going back. That's it. Okay, now let's push down on the clip. You heard it click, out it comes, and that is loose. And I hope you can see that here. A loose cable from the back of it there. So let me get my big hand out the way, maybe you can see it a little bit more effectively. Now the next thing is to take out the two 5mm hex bolts here and up here. On the lower one at least I'm going to use an extension to get that out. These will go back in and they don't have to be torqued to any particular spec, just nice and tight. Okay, now this should be ready to pull out. Let's have a go. There we are, look at that. And that is what it looks like. This one, if I get it under the light, it's got a bit of oil on it, as you can see. So I think what we will do next is take out our spark plug tube. Now to do that, we have a little tool here. This is actually what they use in boats. It's called a transom plug. But for the purposes of this video, we will call it the boat plug. And the boat plug obviously goes in the place where the spark plug is. And I'm going to have a look and see if I can get my camera to show you this. Looking down there, excuse me if this is a bit wobbly, but as I get this camera close in, hopefully you might be able to see the spark plug down there, and it is surrounded by the spark plug tube, and that's what we're going to take out now. So it pushes in there, and then the boat plug goes in the hole quite neatly, and then you have to turn it because then it will expand. Once it expands, it grips to the outside. When it grips to the outside, that means we can pull it out. It requires quite a bit of turning, but we'll get it in there. And look at that! One old spark plug tube covered in oil. And this one has its O-ring intact. Okay, going in. There's so little space to work at here. You have to be very careful with these threads. If you cross thread a spark plug as an amateur guy like me, you're in a very difficult position, because I have no idea what we would do after that other than get an expert in. There we are, look at that. Let us put our new, shiny new spark plug back in its rightful place. And it's just a question of being gentle here as it goes back in. Now, new spark plug tube is next. Now, as I said, I am hoping that these will stop the oil going in onto the coils. Now, these are not easy to seat because these O-rings on the outside here are hard to get in, and the only way I think we're going to be able to get these in without superhuman force is to push the coil in over it and bolt it on, because it is very hard to get it much further. Oh, that did go in quite nicely, actually. All right, now this is all going swimmingly. Here we go, you guys. Here we go. All right. In. That is in. And we're going to put some new, shiny, lovely new bolts in. In we go, look at that. Oh my God. Now these are slightly different in that these require a different kind of a socket. But they go in, just screw them in. These just have to be snug. Nice, good and tight. I'm just hand-doing them to start off with, and then we will tighten them up with our socket. Here goes. Good and tight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to do that 6 more times. No, we haven't, because we haven't got a 7-cylinder car, have we? We've got a 6-cylinder car, so we're going to do that 5 more times. Now we're just going to put our cable back on, clip it back in. I need 4-year-old's hands and very long arms, and at the moment I have neither. And there we are, like a total mechanic magician. He gets it in sight, and it's great. And there we are, a little bit cleaner than it was when we got there, with all 3 coil packs, plugs and spark plug tubes. Now, just in case you do want to hear what a Boxster sounds like when it's misfiring, I have now put in all 6 new spark plugs, but I haven't connected up the coil at the back on this side, on the driver's side, which will cause a misfire. So listen to this, and this is what it will sound like. Chug, 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 chug. And now, in contrast, with the job hopefully done, let's try it again. Oh yeah. A job done well. Will you take a look at that natural leather in the sunshine? I can't wait to get to the leather on this car. It's the bits that I'm sitting on that you don't really want to see. This part looks rather nice. But anyway, I'm putting this down to a massive success. I was able quite easily, as you saw, to change the spark plugs, the spark plug tubes and the coils. And having been on its test drive just now, which I didn't bore you with, it drives so much better. It's much smoother than it was. So I'm really pleased about that, and I'm hoping you were able to see how easy it was to follow. Plenty more to come on this car. I'm steeling myself really for the soft top. I think we'll do that in the next one. That's a real tough one. But that's what we're going to do to make it usable during the summer. But otherwise, thank you very much indeed for watching. I'm really grateful for everybody that watches. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can watch this lovely Boxster come back to its former glory. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.